Hello and welcome to dBASE Plus 9. This is the dBabel feature included in the product. dBabel allows us to look at various source code inside of dBASE and use the context-sensitive highlighting for editing, modifying, and updating those source files. So let me give you an example. If I hit the F12 key, you'll notice that I bring up the editor for the form that was on the last page. I'm using some font and I'm using some type of color context-sensitive highlighting that I prefer on my machine. All of the things are working as expected. However, in dBASE Plus 9, we now allow you to look at various different languages inside of here. So let's go into the navigator real quick and let me go into an SQL. Now notice I'm going to open SQL source editor. Notice it has a different look and feel to it, and if I go up to my languages menu item, you'll notice that I have various languages that we support out of the box. So let me give you an example of some of that support. Let's go into the navigator, and I'm going to go to a different directory, and then I'm going to go to the other tab because I have additional things that I want to show inside of here. The first thing I want to show is the XML. Let's go ahead and right mouse click on the XML. Notice it has a different color context highlighting and it's set up ready to go. Notice when I click on the language, it says that it's from XML. Let's go back into the navigator and let's pick HTML this time. So I'm going to go in and pick an HTML structure. Notice it has a different context highlighting, and these can be changed and modified through the properties file that are included inside of dBASE Plus 9. We can also go back out to the navigator and I can bring up JavaScript. So let's go in there and take a look at the JavaScript. Now notice JavaScript has again a different color context highlighting, but I can also come in, and if I want to, I can go into the source editor and I can change the size. So let's go ahead and make this really large, or I can make it really small and see there. Or I can go ahead and keep it at the normal size and continue to work with it. The great part is that now I don't have to go up to a secondary editor or a tertiary editor. I can stay inside of dBASE and do the edits and modifications that I need. Now, one last file type that I want to show is HTML properties. Now, this is the properties file that we use to set up the context-sensitive highlighting for HTML. Now, notice that the properties file itself does not have any context-sensitive highlighting. The reason for that is because in the language it may not understand what the properties is. That could be a PROP as an extension or PRP. There's all kinds of different extensions. So if the editor doesn't know what the file type is by its extension, you can go ahead and associate an extension to it. So as I'm showing here, we have the properties set up, html.properties. Now I'm going to come in and click the properties. Notice that context-sensitive highlighting is now applied to the file that I'm looking at. And again, I can look at any of these. Notice that I'm looking at each one individually, and each one has their own properties that associate different highlighting and context to what I want to look and have the ability to interact with. Thanks a lot for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.